when you talk about Daytona, there's just so much to talk about. Bill France and his contemporaries convened here in 1947 to form NASCAR, but the story's really so much more than that, and our Matt Yoakum is going to try and explain it all.
Over the past 100 years, Daytona's been known as the world center of racing. For the past 70 plus, the hub of stock car racing. But the birthplace of speed? That honor goes to my hometown, Ormond Beach, just 9 miles northeast. It all began here in 1903 at the Hotel Ormond, then the largest wooden structure in the entire world. It was the place where America's wealthy, like the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers, used to come and play in the wintertime to escape those harsh northern winters. Now, hotel manager John Anderson and Senator William J. Morgan came up with a great idea: promote auto racing on the beach. Now, this cupola and this brick are the only two things that remain from the old Ormond Hotel and the Ormond Garage. A few blocks east of the Hotel Ormond, here at the Granada Approach, we're at the birthplace of speed. This is where it all happened back in 1903. After a day of record runs on the beach, they came up with a great idea: the first drag race, the Hotel Ormond Challenge Cup. The promoters lined up Alexander Winton versus Ransom E. Olds. It was the Bullet versus the Pirate. But contrary to historical legend, Olds didn't actually drive his own race car. His shop foreman, H.T. Thomas, did. But it didn't matter, because in the end, it was the Bullet winning by a nose. The measure-mile record runs would grow in the number of competitors and spectators. For a number of reasons, the course was moved south to Daytona, as the world's most famous beach would see records fall with speeds over 300 miles per hour. The last by Sir Malcolm Campbell in the Bluebird 5, his round-trip average speed 276 miles per hour. Now, one day I was on the way to the beach to go surfing, and I saw a sign that said Racing Museum. I stepped inside, and there sat the Bluebird 5. Now, every day it's on display right here at the Daytona 500 Experience. Just like that, the Speed Demons left the sands of Daytona for the Bonneville Salt Flats. But local businessman Sig Hogdahl was going to try to save stock car racing here in Daytona. Came up with a great idea: racing on the beach. Head south on A1A, the paved portion, then hang a left onto the beach and race here to the north turn, where the heroes of the day would broad slide into the corner, jumping the dunes and the ruts, and then head south again on A1A. One of the 27 competitors that day was Bill France Sr. He ended up finishing 5th, but in a few short years he would end up changing the world of stock car racing forever. He left his biggest mark in December of 1947. That's when, high atop the Streamline Hotel here in the Ebony Room, which is now a bar, he and 24 other guys got together, and after 3 days, they created NASCAR. The results of that meeting brought a lot of NASCAR's early pioneers to Daytona. But Henry Smokey Unick, probably the most innovative crew chief of all time, started wrenching on Marshall Teague's fabulous Hudson Hornets. In fact, they won the Daytona Beach race in 51 and 52. But Smokey found more success working on cars out of his own shop, right here on the corner of 2nd and Beach Street. When you see tonight's winner doing donuts here in the grass or even climbing the fence, they're not the first race winners to celebrate here on the front stretch grass. In fact, from 1959 through the 64 races, everybody celebrated here because this was the site of the original Victory Lane. You know, in fact, even local high schools used to play their home football games here. We hope you've enjoyed our Cliff Notes version of 100 plus years of racing here in my hometown.
Oh, we're enjoying being here, Matt. Thank you very much. Here's a look at some of the other big numbers. By the way, if you're wondering where the name Daytona came from, Mateus Day, one of the first investors, came down here and built the hotel in 1874. And you know, it's 7707. Richard Petty, 7 wins in the Daytona 500. So there you go, 10 wins overall. When we come back, his son's going to join us along with Wally Dallenbach. Yeah, Wally and Kyle going to talk about today's race. How's Daytona different from February to July? We'll find out from those guys. Keep it here on NASCAR on TNT, live from Daytona.